Dobbs here. It's the 2nd of November 2024, and it's this is going to be probably my most important video out of all the videos I've ever made, and so it's going to be quite an intense message. It's going to be it's all going to be about what you can do right now in preparation for what's coming in and what's coming up. And there's lots and lots going off at the moment across Europe. They're giving a 72-hour warning, or a 72-hour kind of provisions warning, saying that people should have 72 hours worth of food and water and such like. And you've just seen the incredible flooding in Spain. All this incredible flooding in the northern hemisphere, as I've been telling you, is going to be happening because of the passages of these great objects that I'm going to upgrade my current astronomical model and give you a better understanding of the solar system that you really live in, and through that, and by that means, give you the opportunity of triangulating and understanding your place in the scheme, in the cosmos, in the cosmic scheme of things. How can you be cosmic in this world if you do not know your place in the cosmos? You have no connection to it. That's what this video is going to be all about. And if you're willing to stay with me through this time, I'm going to blow you away, and it's going to take effort, but I'm going to take you through it bit by bit, and I'm going to take you on a journey. And there's been corrections to my model, as I was discussing in my live stream that I made. I started making a couple of days ago, and apologies, it was such a bad feed as I was coming up the Devices flight, and just a load of locks leading up to Devices, and it's a staggering amount of work. And I had some assistance, but I had a really bad signal. But I told you there's going to be some corrections, and I was kind of midway in kind of like trying to get to the bottom of those, and hadn't properly researched as I have now all the latest data, and so now I thought I'd take you through that data before we talk about the whole array of what's really going on right now. Because you have to also understand that they are about to fire up the Large Hadron Collider on the 6th of November, and this is a very high-powered lead-iron collision. And my message when I wrote Laughing Gas, as I said last time, this was the first thing that I saw when I jumped on a plane to write Laughing Gas and to go off to India to lock myself away. I jumped on a plane on the 10th of the 9th of the 8th, 1098, 7653331, Big Bang. And that's what this is all about. And so much of the science that you've been led to believe about the Large Hadron Collider has led so many to follow it, because they believe this is a fusion system that they're building. But it is absolutely not. This destroys matter. This collides matter at unbelievably high speeds and releases all of the energy within. And this, what they call gloopy plasma, or whatever they call it, all these different aspects that they get as they put more and more energy in. They're putting 14 trillion electron volts in now, and that's it means so little to us really, but these are staggering amounts of energy. Remember, you're putting 14 trillion volts. This is per pair, so that's nearly 7 trillion electron volts in each atom. God knows they're doing billions of collisions a second, and so you can imagine that in each collision there's a combined collision point of 14 trillion volts with particles traveling. You remember all this energy going into these lead ions. Very soon they got them up to the speed of light, or 99.99% of the speed of light, and then beyond that they are their mass starts to increase, because if they can't go any faster, then the energy has to go somewhere, and they're getting bigger and bigger. Now they're absolutely massive. And as I said in the back of my book, when I wrote Laughing Gas, this was all about getting enough human karma together to make this world destroy itself. The gods can't do it. We have to do that. These planetary flybys, these don't destroy worlds. We destroy our worlds when we feel that we're going to explore all of this. We're going to explore the big agenda of what's going on and what you can do to prepare it. And if you're just going to if you can't handle data and you're not science-minded and it's just too much to even consider any of this, and you just can't go there. Maybe, you're completely locked on to kind of like the carbon dioxide story, and you believe that, you can ignore that my local volcano, Stromboli, Etna, Stromboli, quite a big volcano, but very small in the scheme of things, is 80 million tons of carbon dioxide on a big eruption, on one eruption, 80 million tons. You can imagine big volcanoes like Popocatépetl and Shevaluch on the Kamchatka Peninsula and Taal in the Philippines. These are big volcanoes that are kind of like 3-4 times that amount of carbon dioxide at least. They're just like, and we're talking about we want to be carbon zero. I don't deny climate change. I can see the climate is massively changing, and that's massively changed since 2007, this massive onset of this exponentially increasing storms that are just mega storms and mega flooding as a result of all these volcanoes, massive increase in volcanoes. Remember, this time last year it was 61 volcanoes going off simultaneously. That was off the record to anything we've ever seen. All of these particles going in the air from these volcanoes, and this massive heat that's coming up from the oceans as these fault lines under the oceans are boiling the ocean, sending all this moisture up to be caught by these tiny particles and rain back down in the form of these mega superstorms. Except that now right up until 2000 and when we saw May the 4th, 2018, the big volcano, the Hawaiian volcano going off in Mauna Loa, and it's part of the whole Mauna Loa thing, but it's the name will come to me in a sec. But the volcano that's next to Mauna Loa, it will come to me. But that went off on May the 4th, 2018. It was the first of the long-duration volcanoes, and that's when we saw all of these planets coming to the ecliptic. And I'm going to take you through all of this in this model because there's corrections, and through this model we can really start to understand and give you motivation to do the absolute best type of preparation that you were sent to this earth to do, to protect the genetic. You borrow the genetics that you hold right now and all the wisdom and the knowledge that you have. If you can survive this, you can take wonder on. If you can't survive this, then so much of this is lost, and you have the opportunity, if you want to survive this and to get through this and to witness this whole thing. I do not believe they're going to make their war happen. My whole message was that the vibration of Earth is that humanity is not of war. It is deemed humanity is not of war, but it is subverted with war, and that will change. But we all have to witness that. We have to become the change. It's all going to rise up and become part of this change, one way or the other. That's what's happening here. And so we have to remember that if this Large Hadron Collider doesn't go off, then this big object that's eclipsing the sun right here is going to let's explore this. Let's come now to before we dig much further into this, let's delve into the astronomics. Like I say, just talking about crossing the ecliptic, because the reason we're seeing this object right there is the only reason that can eclipse the sun right there is because this object is coming in on the ecliptic right there. It's right on the ecliptic. And so these objects are coming from the southern aspect of our solar system. And so we also saw all the superstorms around the Ring of Fire. But now that is coming into the northern hemisphere, as I've been telling you. And then we saw the long duration volcano with it, like I say, in 2018 in Hawaii, and then in 2000 and I believe 21, we saw the big Iceland volcano going off, and then that stopped, and directly after the La Palma started and went off and became the longest duration volcano we've ever known, even longer than in the days of, say, Galileo in 1585, where we were saying was the longest duration volcano ever recorded. That was broken in 2021. We're breaking all the records. Everything is going off the radar. Everything is redlining, and we can see it, and we can predict it, and we can move ourselves around to if we have the warning. So I'm asking you to, if you can't do anything else, then at least send this video out to your friends and to your loved ones who you care about enough to say, listen, we need to start preparing, we need to hold on to food, we need to hold on to water, we need to take real assessments of what's happening with the weather, and if it looks like we have to move whatever, we have to be ready, we have to have fuel in our cars, we have to kind of know our exit points, we have to know, we've got to get an idea of what's going down, and that's what I'm going to give you in this video. So share it. Get it out there, and if you can help me at all in all this, I'm asked, because I'm absolutely broke right now and I want to go out and do this. If this video means anything to you at the end of it, please think about making a donation to my PayPal, and I will go out and do the same, because right now I can't even afford to do that. But I know my work here right now is to get this information out there. So guys, all I can tell you is take a few breaths, because I'm going to blow you away now, and so you need to kind of like make yourself a cup of tea or something. Get some breaths, get yourself into a position where you can get away from your belief blinkers a little bit, put a big golden ring of light around yourselves, take some breaths. Try not to control the narratives in your head, because this isn't right or wrong. It's just my best understanding of what I'm seeing is going on, and I'm trying to make sense of it. My model has perpetually changed all through this process, and no doubt will continue to change. Like all science, like all understanding, it evolves, and this is just the beginning of understanding this whole system. And the people will come years down the line from me will hopefully, if I pray, will take my workings that we have been able to witness through this grand transit and use this to better understand and evolve our understanding of the system we live. This has been our opportunity. These whole passages past our planet have been a mega opportunity to truly understand our exact place in the grand scheme of things. And so record this video, repost this video on your own channels, repost it on wherever you can, get it out there. Please, I give you permission to share it on your own channels. This channel that you're watching right now is shadow banned. No one's going to see it. It's not going to reach public audience. If you follow this, put it out on all of your channels, break it up into episodes, put it out, do what you will with it. Get it out there. Think of it as your opportunity to do something to help people. If you can't articulate this stuff yourself, this is your opportunity to articulate it to other people. This is the Dobbs model. This is the ever-evolving Dobbs model. This is the best I can do, and it's taking all that I've created so far and going to try and give you the opportunity to have the greatest and best understanding, so you can truly triangulate to your place in the scheme of things, and through that connect to the cosmos. And through that connection to the cosmos can meet you in that great intelligence. You are not meeting the cosmos with a deception. Now, that does not mean that my model is exactly right, as I've said. But to meet the cosmos through an absolute lie and deception is a thwarted connection. It's a belief connection, and the universe struggles with belief connections because they're not a true connection to who we are. They are an invasion of our reality. And if we choose to go with our beliefs, we will be, or our souls will be leaving us to allow that which our humanity is choosing to tally with. You know, this is the grand bottleneck that we come here. When this object that eclipses the sun comes past Earth at perigee, at its closest point to Earth, it will create a plasma burst. And that plasma burst will deliver singularity to this Earth, because it will fry the ego transmission system. And that is a science faction thing. It's that I love so much of who we think we are is electronically transmitted through the gravity of this planet. It's not our true soul connection. So much of our doubts, so much of our insecurities have been piped into us through technology. Our egos, as it were, have been piped into us through technology. This system will cancel that. This will break that signal. But as we come into that, if human beings are absolutely, each human being that is absolutely attached through belief to its ego story, it can go with that as well. There's no right or wrong in truth. This is you actually helping. Those who choose to bring their egos in are bringing a soul into this realm. They're birthing a soul into this realm also. They are in service to a soul. Just like those who are working with their fifth dimensional higher selves, they are in service to a soul. Humanity is in service. It has always been in total service to soul. And you know, that's the experience that the human goes through. And if there is this exchange, any human being that gives up, the soul will be leaving to give for this Passover. They allow. It's an exchange. It's not just they are walking out and the ego is getting everything. It is an exchange. It is a karma exchange. So if your ego takes your human body, or if your humanity decides to tally only with the ego, then it takes on the human karma of this earth, of this world as well. It is an exchange. Karma, you cannot take your karma to the fifth. That's not, this is the place where all this is sorted out. Only your highest and your best goes to the fifth, which means that if you're going to leave that behind, it's an exchange. So this is win-win-win situation. Doesn't matter how you sliced it. There's no good, there's no bad. It's just a new soul group coming in and a soul group moving on to the fifth. And this grand cycle that's been going on for time immemorial. And this massive attempt by those that are absolutely terrified by all that they've done and the heinous crimes and the desperate, those who really drive this agenda, that want their own world, that want to take, you know, Mars was Zion. This is where this is all started. This big process that I talk about, you know, where this big tear occurred and it split the earth open, and this big fault line between Hawaii and the Kamchatka Peninsula, this 4,600 long fault line made of seamounts or volcanoes that have been boiling the oceans from underneath when we were getting all the earthquakes in the southern hemisphere, and the big tear where the dimensional tear occurred between here on Mars, and where all the water drained out because of a large hadron collider, the ultimate fission, the ultimate bomb, the biggest bomb of all that was detonated on Mars and opened up a dimensional tear. The water didn't travel across space. It didn't travel any distance. They were occupying a unified field. They were combined by the field, by a unified field. There was no travel. It was literally the magma also came out of Mars. You can see the drainage holes where the water went down. And that was Zion. And this same process is being attempted to take the water, the seas from Earth to now Venus, and to repeat this whole thing through this by using the leverage of religious war in the Middle East to create the war. And that's what I wrote about in the back of Laughing Gas. I know I read that last time, but I read it in terrible light. And Dobbs is unwittingly becoming an undercover psychic detective on the trail of the greatest gold robbery ever conceived. So large, in fact, it's taken quite some time, millennia in fact, to plan and get everything in place. Now it seems all the thieves have to do in this romantic and deeply obscure psychedelic thriller is blow the safe doors, But there's only one thing powerful enough to bust through the walls of this dimensional of this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get up to the light again. Terrible if I put that open. It's because I've got Shakespeare with a bob face over the top of it, and it obscures the text. So sorry about that. But this to bust through the walls of this time-locked, vaulted world, and that is karma. If you can harness enough of it and apply it in the right way at the right time, well, karma mixed in with the essential incendiary ingredients, pain and fear, then it can be blown clean off its hinges. I'm sorry, I read that last time as well, but it's so important that we get an idea of what we're dealing with, of why I wrote Laughing Gas, the big message that's coming up, of what Zionism really is, of what this whole thing really is that's going on, and these massive plans to create the fear. And the only way they can, a hungry man is an angry man. It's a no-brainer. You can see what's about to go down. You can prepare for this in so many ways, but you can see by the scale and the size of this eclipse that something big is very, very close by. And so let us dive in. Go and get your cup of tea. Go and get your everything else like that. Go and get yourself comfortable. We are now going to delve into the astronomics of what's happening now, and it's going to blow you away. And if you don't know this, and you're being sent this video by a friend, or you're being sent this video by someone that really wants you to kind of prepare on some sort of level, go and get yourself comfortable. Do not see this as right or wrong. Do not fight this with your mind. Just open your idea to all the sightings and just understand that this is just one person's attempt to make sense of all these sightings and trying to evolve an understanding. And there's been thousands and thousands. I've got 20,000 subscribers. I've had 20,000 subscribers for I don't know how many years. It never goes up. I'm endlessly told I've been desubscribed from your channel. Many people say I have to desubscribe from your channel because I get attacked. I get every story, but I stayed at 20,000 subscribers. I don't know how long. So it's just, I don't know, but out of all the thousands and thousands of people that have followed my channel over the years, when I went out to do the big show for the big flyby in 2017, and we did a big show with Steve Olsen, and which was aired by all the different radio channels and loads of different channels, and he got it out to 6 million people. But the Dobbs model was massive on the internet. Now I've been virtually deleted from Google. Now I've been virtually deleted from YouTube. So my only chance of getting out there now in these last days is whoever's watching out there. I don't do too many thank yous or anything on the internet. I've got to be honest with you, because we got to get past this. There's nothing to thank for. If we don't get past this, if we don't get through this, we failed. This, all the thank yous, all the everything, all exists beyond this. If we get through this, if we get past this time, if you can come out of this want to be carbon zero and realize that, the climate is changing, but maybe going after carbon zero isn't the solution. And maybe abundant clean energy is the solution. Maybe kind of like the abundant clean energy, the real ace in the pack. That is from so much of my abundant clean energy narratives and talks come, by the way, blessing to Pete Moore, who's an incredible poet, and look him up. He does a lot of poetry with Estes, Dome and stuff like that. He speaks over loads. He edited Laughing Gas, actually, so bless him, and thank you so much, Pete, for all your wisdom, all your wise words, you are truly a legend on this world, mate. You are truly a legend, a greatest genius I think I've ever met. I just want to tell you that, mate. And if you hear this, follow him on YouTube. Follow him on listen to some of his poetry with Estes. He will take you on a journey that would just blow you away. Beautiful, beautiful, amazing being that's done so much for this world. And I know he's struggling at the moment. So many are struggling at the moment. So go and get your cup of tea. And I'm going to take you into this now. And we're going to go on this massive journey. And I'm going to take you through the astronomics of where you truly are. So, okay,